Hi everyone, welcome back to the today's session, and I am happy to see you all here. Let us wait for 2 more minutes. Before that, if you wanted to talk something to me, like regarding your cohort journey or any challenges if you are facing, anything, if you want to talk to me, please let me know. I'm just making you all as like you can unmute and talk. Okay. So I'm just allowing mic for you, everyone. So please feel free to talk if you have anything to convey regarding the sessions or the challenges you're facing or whatever it may be. Just please let me know. So we will be starting in few minutes. Okay, so I hope all are joining in. Hi, Preeti. Preeti, you are in
Hi,
mute. Yeah, yeah. Hi.
hi Gomathi.
So, yeah, let
Yeah.
me start and I will proceed with that. Yes. So, before we begin, I'm truly delighted to share that we have successfully completed 3 powerful sessions of the She Powers BI mentorship program. We now have nearly 40 amazing women actively learning, growing, and supporting each other in this inspiring cohort. We still have 3 more sessions to go, and today's session is an exclusive one all about getting ready for the job market. And we'll be discussing how to position yourself confidently, where to apply for jobs, and how to make the most of Power BI skills in the real world roles. And to make the session even more special, we have with us an exceptional leader from Microsoft who truly embodies the what empowerment through learning looks like. Preethi Das is the customer skilling delivery lead for India at Microsoft, leading a dynamic team of expert trainers who enable customers and partners across AI business solution, Azure cloud and security. With over 5 years of impactful experience at Microsoft specifically, she has been at the heart of customer skilling, capability development, and AI readiness across the country. An alumna of Birla Institute of Technology and Science, Pilani, Preeti is known for her passion for building learning ecosystem that empowers professional and foster innovation. She is also a strong advocate of women in technology and continuous learning, inspiring others to believe that growth begins the moment we choose to learn. Please join me in warmly welcoming Preeti Das, a true change maker, a learning leader, and a role model for every woman striving to make her mark in tech. Welcome, Preeti, and thank you so much for joining today.
Hey, thank you so much for an amazing introduction, Gomathi. I truly appreciate that. I hope my voice is audible.
Yes, yes, Pakka. Your voice is clear.
Awesome. So, I am actually inspired today to be a part of the initiative, She Powers BI. And then, and I really wanted to come and join with you all and have this conversation because I kind of share similar interests. And Gomati, I had a conversation with you, and I was telling you that we are running a similar initiative within Microsoft called Copilot Chat Chronicles, where we
Mm.
invite women leaders and share their experience of how they are using Microsoft technology, specifically Copilot Chat, in their daily life, personally, professionally, financially, and so on. And so we've been also promoting Copilot Chat Chronicles in LinkedIn and other forums. And so at that point in time, I was actually, coming across She Powers BI that Gomati is driving, and I wanted to know more about it. And then here I am giving a session with you all. So I hope the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to, make it a bit more meaningful for your current role, whatever that you're aspiring for today and for the future as well. With that, let's get started, shall we?
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay, so I am going to share my screen. Uh, is that how it's designed, Gomati? I can go ahead and share my screen.
Yes, yes, you can.
Yeah.
I'll stop my screen share. Yeah, you can share now.
Okay. So let me see if I can bring up Teams Live.
Yes, it is visible
Yeah,
now.
perfect. Okay. So as you have heard from Gomathi, my professional updates or professional journey, I would like to take some time and talk about my personal space. So I'm Preethi Das, and I grew up in a quaint town of Pollachi, which is nestled in the southern part of India. Tamil is my first language, and fluency in English was years away when I was growing up in Pollachi. As the youngest in the family of lawyers, with two older brothers, a few strides ahead of me always, right? I was naturally reserved, often found with my nose stuck in a book, not because I had to, but because that's where I found at home. Um, as you can see in those pictures. So it wasn't an easy journey for me when I started off because coming from a very small town and then transitioning into college, which was BITS Pilani, it was very challenging for me. As you can see in my next slide, I'm actually talking about my, you know, professional and career journey plus also educational journey. So after coming out of school, I got into BITS Pilani, and that was a kind of a nerve-wracking moment for me because I wasn't able to talk fluently in English. And you know how it is in the town those days, right? Like we're talking about 25 years before. In schools, it wasn't really enforced that you need to talk in English, and teachers would actually use Tamil to even teach the subjects, even though it was a English medium school. So, like when I went to BITS, it was kids from all over India, from a CBSE board, from cities. So I found it really challenging the initial few years. And what came in really handy for me was the series called Friends. So I used to watch that with my friends as well, and we had a great experience all in all. If I look back, what resonates as takeaway for me is breaking the glass ceiling and defying those stereotypes. And then from there, I got placed into Wells Fargo. I started off as a Java developer there and moved my ranks up to becoming a cloud transformation leader at Wells Fargo. And in the process, I also applied for an executive management program with the IIM Calcutta. So when I look back, I think of that journey as climbing up the corporate ladder because my journey as a professional started from there, and I spent a good 12 years in one single organization. That kind of gave me a really good foundation. And from there, I am at Microsoft currently. And as Gomathi introduced, I am the commercial skilling delivery leader for India, leading the team of 15 amazing Microsoft technical trainers. And it is still a growing journey for me. I look at myself becoming a global leader in this space. Okay, so that's a little about me, my professional and personal. And what I want to share with you the next few, you know, minutes is about inward road to executive presence. So Gomati said that this session is going to be more about a sharing session of how you can build your portfolio and prepare yourself for future. And so I felt like executive presence is really critical when it comes to corporate life. And all of this actually came from the fact that I was a really shy person. And that's something that I shared in the beginning, right? So I was a very shy person, and I had challenges with language and communication skills. I kind of found that executive presence is not something that comes naturally for me, and I had to re-engineer myself, and that road was not a simple road, right? So it was a really bumpy road. All right. So I wanted to kind of share that journey with you all so that you can have some bit of takeaways for yourself and try to see if you can apply in your lives as well. Okay, so let me take you to a scenario. All right. Are you all ready? You can give me a thumbs up if you're all ready and um, interested in onboarding into this journey that I'm going to take you. Awesome. That's good. Anyway, so imagine this, folks. The lights are bright, the room is packed, and a vice president or a customer C-suite is waiting for your words to land. You have read your decks, you have completed your trainings, you've got the techniques at least by the papers. Yet, when you step onto the stage, right, your heart sprints, your mind is blank, and that confident voice inside you vanishes. Can you relate with that? Does any of you relate with what I just expressed right now? Okay, I can see a bit of thumbs up. Let me be honest with you. That was me. All right. I had the credentials, I had the playbook, I had the practice, but when the stakes are high, something else took over. All right. So that stress driven autopilot, I now recognize as self sabotage. So maybe for some of you, if this term is new, this is one of the stress based reaction. All right. So self sabotage is a characteristic that you have inherently acquired um, as a result of experiences that you have come across from your childhood. All right. Childhood actually quietly shapes these unconscious patterns that we carry into adulthood. Like, am I good enough? All right. Do I fit in? Will I be able to do this? So you're self limiting yourself, self doubting yourself. So that characteristic is called self sabotage. All right. And so a true fearless presence, going back to that stage presence, right? That fearless presence is manifested from becoming aware of these patterns that's happening within you. Oh my God, it is something in me that tells me that, am I good enough? It's not somebody else that tells me. It's just me in my mind. It keeps running that, am I good enough? Right. So first thing is you need to acknowledge that this is happening to you, becoming aware of these patterns. And then the second thing is you are intentionally choosing to reshape them, reshape these patterns. Let me be honest with you folks. In my observation, having worked in Microsoft is, by far one of the largest sales organization in the planet. And we have like amazing sales professionals. And I've seen some of these sales executives, they naturally thrive in the under the lights. You put them in any scenario, they would be like, they would sweep the floor with their um, dynamism and that amazing executive presence. But then there are equally others who are competent and capable. However, they get derailed by the stress chemistry that I was talking about, that stress based reaction called self sabotage. So to me, it feels like this isn't a talent gap, it's more of a tooling gap. And then my turning point came when I stopped performing outward, trying to self doubt myself. And then I started training inward. And guess what? I'm going to share with you that set of human centered, science backed micro practices. As I recognize, it's less about projecting confidence and it's more about number one, regulating your nervous system. And number two, shaping the room. See who is around in that room. Observe the presence. And number three, upgrade that thinking in real time. Okay? So, with that, I'll move on to my secret mantra of how you can build your executive presence. Are you all ready? You can give me a thumbs up or any smiley or emoji that you like. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, we spoke about why this matters. So, let's get into the mantra itself. So it's a simple loop. Okay. So when I say it's a loop, you can be at any point in the loop. And then there are around 6 stages in the loop I'm going to introduce you. And the name of this loop is inward. Okay. Each alphabet in this word, it represents a tool or a technique that you may want to apply. Starting with I, interrupt. As I said, it's not about um, showcasing yourself outward. It's about inside, in re-engineering yourself inside. And hence, I've coined the term inward. And in that, our first alphabet, I, denotes interrupt. So what does that mean? Let me get into details of it. Interrupt your stress cycle. Imagine the same scenario when you're going on stage, you feel that everything is blank, your mind is blank. All right, so how do you handle that situation? You have to first acknowledge that this is happening in seconds, interrupt that stress cycle. 60 seconds of box breathing. It's simple technique. It's like we are born with this technique of breathing, right? I'm not going to tell you a technique that's like new for or something that we are unknown of. It's something that comes naturally, isn't it? All you have to do is to exercise box breathing. So what that means is inhale 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold for 4 seconds. So when you do that, right, the amygdala, which is the brain's emotion center, and that which is responsible for flooding your body with all these stress hormones, it calms down. So your brain is grounded. You're literally taking control of your brain by just simple box breathing. I want you all to kind of practice it right now. Shall we do it together? 4 seconds each. All right. Inhale 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to come into a meditated, like, posture, right? Vajrasanam or whatever posture that you call it. You don't have to come to that comfort zone to practice this. You can be at any position or posture or situation or scenario. All you have to do is just mindfully do this box breathing. Okay, so that's number one. What's the next in inward loop? N. Notice. Notice the pattern. All right, so what does this mean? I introduced you a term called self sabotage. That is my pattern. Whenever I get into a stressful situation, I start doubting myself. Similarly, there could be a pattern for you. You may be feeling like, oh, I'm an overthinker. I'm overthinking right now because I feel so exposed, because I feel that, people are judging me. So that's an example that could happen for you, or it could be something else that could happen. But my ask here is for you to notice that pattern. What is happening to you? Be intentional in noticing that pattern. So that simple act, activate your brain's control center. Can somebody tell what is your brain's control center called? I'm not so sure if I can observe the chat, but I can give it a try.
I know only one medulla oblongata through the picture.
I know, right? Nadulla Konja Pakatakanam is the name of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yes,
That
yes,
whole
yes.
movie is centered around that uh,
Of course.
part of the brain. Yes. So prefrontal cortex is our brain's control center. All right. So what happens is that when you are noticing that pattern and labeling it and calling out loud, your prefrontal cortex is activated, and that helps you shift you from being swept away in the moment to calmly observe it. Okay, and in that shift you reclaim control and you unlock the power of choice. And what is the choice in that moment? The choice is that let me not self hurt myself or self sabotage myself. I can do this. The choice is to be positive, to tell yourself that I can do this. All right, to bring that positive energy in yourself. So the second tool for you all is notice the pattern. Okay, that's important. Let's move on to the third one. W, warm up the room. Okay, so what does that mean? So when you are in the presence of executives inside the room, it could be your senior leader, or it could be your customer, or it could be even like group of people who was invited you to have a conversation like this, right? Look into the room and observe who is there in the room, and start off with human level check-ins. What does that mean? Human level check-in. Did you observe how I started the session? What was different in the way that I started the session? Gomathi, would you like to go ahead? If others are able to unmute, that's great. Anybody can go ahead, but I'm just guessing perhaps they have uh, been muted. So go for it, Gomathi.
Yeah, I gave them mic access as well. Yes, you
Oh,
have
is it?
start. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They can
Got
talk.
it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you have started with like telling how it is introduced, and you gradually started with like asking questions to make them comfortable. So this is
Got
what
you.
I noticed. Yeah.
Got you. Great.
So
So,
all have mic
mhm,
access. Like anybody who wants
yes.
to go, please.
Yes, it would be awesome if you are able to interact, because this would also help me connect with you. That's the whole point here, right? Have those human level chickens. The psychology of closeness. What does that mean? Psychology of closeness states that we connect faster when we move beyond the surface facts. Okay, so um, recognizing this
Preethi,
shared
maybe
humanity. Go for
hello.
it, Money. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you started with sharing about your personal journey, where you
Yes.
live, then what are the struggles you made it, so we can relate to that. It's not that we are only facing it. Then once you have faced it, then now you reach this position, so we can connect to it.
Got you. Thank you for that. Thank you for acknowledging that. So, becoming vulnerable is actually one of the best ways of developing that shared humanity. All right. So, all I had to do is to just open up and be vulnerable of who I am and who I was when I was growing up, right? So, that's one way of, you know, building that connectedness in the room. Similarly, learn the room, who is in the room, and identify ways how you can develop that shared humanity, because it's going to help you reduce that threat, that perceived threat in your mind, which is actually causing those stress based reactions, right? And then it's going to increase the receptiveness and openness in dialogue, because the other person may also be equally threatened by you, because for all you know, not everybody is perfect. So you're actually making that reciprocation by first initiating that human level check-in. All right, awesome. If you need further clarifications, please raise your hands. I can always jump in to give you more clarity. For now, let me move on to the next in the loop. Stop me wherever you want me to. The next in loop is A, ask. What does that mean? Ask more and assume less. All right. So when stakes are high, again, you have people who are known to you in the room, people who are not known to you, people who are trying to understand where you're coming from, people who are keenly observing you. It's a high stake moment for you. Your mind is racing up what psychologists call the ladder of inference. Okay. So what does that mean? A ladder of inference mean that we grab bits of data. When we see something in front of us, we grab that bits of visual data and layer that with meaning, make assumptions, and then leap into actions all in seconds. All right. So when you want to have those executive presence and spontaneous conversations that are impactful, you need to start with questions. Ask before you jump into those immediate responses. So, curiosity is the perfect break because it interrupts your snap judgments, slows down this climb of this ladder, and opens up door for better decisions before you land that statement. Because for all you know, certain statements could be those decision making statements, right? So it's even more important for you to ask more and assume less. Okay, so that's my next in loop. We'll move on to the fifth word in the loop, which is R. Reflect. Now, reflect to retain. So, what does that mean? What am I talking about here? Research from Harvard Business School shows that micro reflections boost learning by 23% because they trigger something called metacognition. And metacognition is a process of analyzing your own thought patterns. So when you're reflecting your own thought patterns, you're boosting retention. Okay. So let's exercise it together. Shall we take 30 minutes? All right. And then let's reflect on what insights you have gained so far. Did I mean 30 minutes or did I say 30 seconds?
You said 30 minutes.
Good that you're all listening to me. All right. So it's 30 seconds. All right. So let's take 30 seconds and reflect on insights you have gained so far. I've covered about inward, and I want you to reflect on how many words I've spoken until now in that inward loop, and reflect on what are the concepts, tools, and technique I've covered in that. Shall we? Perfect. So I'm going to look into the timer, and as you're reflecting, you can post your thoughts in the chat, and I'm going to read your chat messages. Okay. Assume less is the key, Shraddha says. Totally agree. I'm going to second to that statement. Anybody else? Interrupt. I. N stands for of the inward we have covered. All right. Notice. So Mani has been listening so well, and Mani has captured two of them, I and N. Interrupt the stress cycle. Notice your pattern. What does W stand for? Warm up the room. Awesome. Money is full on. Money Megalai. And what does A stand for? There you go. Aisha. Aisha has covered everything. Ask more, assume less. Perfect. There you go. Perfect. So we had Shraddha also cover some of them. Awesome. And R is reflect to retain. Okay. And we will look into the last one, which is design. Design for every voice in the room. Spot who is silent. Draw them in. Invite perspectives and model vulnerability. You need to make sure that you are including everybody and as much possible hear out their voices. All right. Even though silent observers could have a great perspective that can take the discussion or conversation in a different direction, right? So make sure that you are addressing all those silent listeners in the room as well and see if they have any perspectives to share. And you model vulnerability as well as you speak. So let's summarize this. In summary, by applying inward loop of micro actions before and after, as you see here, you're applying interrupt and notice before that moment. And during the moment, you're warming up the room, you're looking into the room and ask more questions. And after you have asked and had those discussions, you're reflecting and understanding what you have gained as insights. And then you are designing for every voice. You are inviting people who have been like silent or people who has perspectives to share. Ask them or have them provide you in a form of feedback or however you want to end that conversation. It could be like a survey as well, right? Like how we have in trainings, right? We send a survey and have people put in their thoughts. You can design for every voice to be heard. So that's the last. So by doing this inward loop, every time you go for a executive meeting or on stage conversations or talks, you are engineering conditions where your best thinking can show up on demand and others' best thinking can join force to make it even more stronger. I'll tell you this, folks. Executive presence is not a costume. It's a state that we cultivate. So start inward and seize the opportunity. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my technique with you all. And I really appreciate your patient listening as well. With that, over to you, Gomathi.
What an incredible and thought provoking session we had today. A huge thank you to Preethi Das, a customer skilling delivery lead, for sharing her deep insight on inward road to executive presence. So the inward framework really, it was like a different thing which I'm hearing today, like interrupt, notice, warm, reflect, and design, which truly helped us pass, reflect, and reimagine how we present ourselves as a professional and leaders. And you also reminded us how a self sabotage can quietly limit our growth, and how awareness, confidence, and authenticity build a true executive presence. Your words really left every woman in the She Powers BA cohort more inspired, grounded, and also ready to grow inside out. Thank you so much, Preeti, for being a guiding light on this journey of empowerment and purpose. Thank you so much. And if anybody have any questions, please comment it here. And she is very busy, and for us, she has spent
Oh,
some time. So please.
no, no, not at all. It's anyway like it's going to be after this meeting, I'm going to, just change my dress and bedtime. That's it. So
Great.
don't worry about it. I'm happy to spend a couple of minutes for questions. Who's Who's an early riser in this group? How early do you raise up? Because I already started my fitness journey, and so as you can see,
Yes.
I make a point to sort of shut down at 10 so that I have a good sleep for 8 hours max.
Mm.
7 to 8 is what I target in a day, but sometimes it may not happen, but that's the target. So that I get up at around 5:30, and then I'll get started with my day. Yes, 5 is an awesome time. There is a book written by Robin Sharma, if you have heard of him, the monk who sold his red Ferrari. So he wrote a book called The 5 a.m. Club. Oh, yeah, I can see some of them have read it. Yay, I've got a book club here. So that book actually gave me a lot of learnings as well. Yeah, go for it, Gomathi. You were going to say something?
No, no. Actually, when during the session, I used to share the LinkedIn profiles and everything, but really, I was stopped and freezed on seeing your sessions, like inward and everything. So I will share your LinkedIn profile here, so that if the women who wants to connect with you, they can do it.
Sure, sure. No worries.
Preeti, can I ask you something?
Yeah, go for it,
Okay.
Mani.
Hey, the method you invented and you are practicing is after you have went through so much difficulty, right? So,
Yes.
so how did you manage that? Because I know this is the success story, but when you're suffering, the initial stage, how to how did you manage to? Because even though we know that even by unmuting my mic and wanted to express my thought, like I wanted to ask questions, I have so much doubt in myself before
Yes.
I do that.
Yes.
Yeah, but
It's,
within a small comfort room itself, like being like that's when you think about a bigger place than with many other new people, then it's thinking itself can bring that much of stress to me.
yeah.
So I'm sure like you also might be gone through. You
Yes.
said you went to this college also from grown up into Tamil Nadu, then Tamil speaking, then you went there. It's not an easy journey. Then you went to the organization, then now you're working in Microsoft. When you are leading to the world level, then it is a very big responsibility what you are doing it. So how did you from there to here? I wanted to know how did you make it? Because
Yes.
I heard the positive story is inspired by that. At the same time, wanted to know how you did it.
Yes.
Thank you.
No worries, Mani. First off, you know, never ever doubt yourself. Like, when you express that, I'm finding it challenging to unmute and have this question, right? You know, don't limit yourself. That's like the first takeaway that I can share. Uh, the moment I realize that I'm limiting myself, then I'm closing those doors for opportunities, right? So as much as you have that inertia in you to go ahead and express yourself, the other person really is intentional to listen to you. Nobody wants to, shut somebody down, right? At least, like in my journey, I've seen uh, leaders, exceptional leaders, are always in the lookout for listening to others. And so, if you are in a space where you want to give that executive pitch, or you have an opportunity that's going to make a difference in your life, don't limit yourself, because nothing is, you know um, assumed as a wrong question. Everything is a right question, right? It is your perspective. So that's number one that I would like to share with you based on what I've just heard, that you're finding it challenging to speak up. Be fearless and just um, go forward with that confidence that your question is a right question. And of course, we have tools like Copilot. I'm not so sure which one you are using, whether it's Gemini or Copilot. Um, the tools are there now. It's very handy in our fingertips to help us curate those scripts. So you can actually go with a script also. Earlier we didn't have these intelligent tools in place. So exercise these support system that is available for you. Do it once, twice, 10 times, and the 11th time you will easily get it when it comes to presenting yourself. That's number one. And number two, and the other question that you asked is, how was this journey for me? I mean, it will take like a lot of time for me to explain that. But when I have to kind of think back on my journey and tell you like in one sentence, it was not easy, but I had to intentionally re-engineer myself and tell myself that I can do this. Every time I'm put into a challenging situation, every time I see opportunity in front of me, I kind of interrupt and do this inward engineering to myself saying that I can do this. So it's all about managing my stress and re-engineering my thought process and activating my prefrontal cortex and saying that I am in control of myself. Okay, and I'm going to do this. And I'm pretty sure people will take you seriously. Okay? I hope I have answered your question, Mani. If not, don't worry. We can stay connected in LinkedIn and I can, share a couple more anecdotes as well.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Sure.
Hello. Preeti, sorry, one more question. I know
Yes,
like
go
many
for
of
it.
you are, it's not only for you, even others, those who are waking up early at 5 a.m. How is it possible continuously doing?
So it comes as a learned helplessness at one point. You do this one time, two times. Science actually says that for a practice to set in your muscle memory, it takes 22 to 25 days of continuous, exercise. So you do that for 1 day, 2 day, 21st day onwards, your biological system will only wake you up. You don't even need an alarm system. All right, your biological clock will actually wake you up. Because what happens is like even I started noticing this. Um, I did not have this practice like 5 years ago, right? COVID hit, and then I had a really downtime in terms of my health as well. And I kind of, it was like a wake up call for me. I felt like, okay, career is primal for me. So I had to, fix my health. That was my agenda. So at that point in time, I was trying to figure out what is the best way of doing it. And so I stumbled upon the 5 a.m. club. And then I started listening to Robin Sharma. And then I started exercising to get up at that 5 a.m. And then I hit the gym or take a run. And then in a couple of days, by the 25th and 30th day, even if I, felt tired, that even if I was procrastinating to get up, my body started sweating. Trust me, my body started really sweating out because I had actually by then, set my biological clock. And so we call this term as learned helplessness. your body is already attuned to it. All it takes for you is to don't miss a day. Just practice that, give it a try until that 25th day. And for me, that kind of helped. I mean, these are science backed research as well for the practice to kick into your body system.
Yeah,
Yes,
I agree with you. Actually, I'm from attending from Singapore. Here, the time is 12:15.
got you.
Yeah, yeah. So by the time
Oh my.
after finishing, then by the time I go to bed will be like 12:45.
Yeah, so that
So
you don't, yeah, in this scenario, don't aim for a 5 a.m. So for you, like the 5 a.m. is literally like 8 a.m. there because you need to give that 8 hours of rest. That's what you need to aim for. Yeah,
thank you.
no worries. Yeah, but if your sleep pattern is every day 12 a.m. per se, then 8 a.m. wake up is a good time. Um, Maybe it could be because of your work or like commitments, but on a regular day, on a regular schedule, try to sleep by 10 so that you're waking up at 5. Okay, I can see some chat messages. We start practicing from our childhood. If you have practiced from childhood, that's like amazing. All right, so then it's like rock solid. Nobody can break you from getting up at 5 a.m. So there's somebody attending from New Zealand. Time is 5 a.m. That's good. Atomic Habits. That's also a real good book. I I keep forgetting the author name. Steve, because I need to go back and verify who wrote Atomic Habits. All right. Any other
Uh,
questions? Yes.
I got a question. Yes, someone is talking. Yes, Ramya.
Sorry, yeah. Thank you so much, Gomathi, for organizing the session. It was quite
Thank
insightful. Thank you so much, Preeti ji, for your time and giving us
No worries
the
to me.
valuable insights and suggestions. I have only one question. So, what
Sure.
kind of advice do you give to the mid-age women who are juggling between the family life, especially the children, and the
Yes.
office? I mean, the official work. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very valid question. I have my daughter who is like entering teen, and she's the Gen Alpha. So we are all in the same boat. And I don't have that secret sauce handy because I'm also in this journey along with you, trying to figure out like how to crack at it. Because with all this, not even the generation gap, it's just a few decades gap, right? That itself is so different. Like the communication is so different, and they are like born in the cloud, born in the AI space. And so obviously it would take, like how I had, you know, challenges of speaking in English, now I have challenges of speaking their language. So it's going to be um a practice in itself. Like how I do inward professionally, I need to do inward personally as well with my daughter. And to be very honest, right now, I'm exercising patience. So that in itself will help them. If you are specifically talking about handling kids who are growing up, it helps them to self retrospect as well. But at times, having that patience and allowing them to take accountability for their actions will also help. Um, you know, Too many advices these days is not landing well, to be honest. Kids don't like too much of advices. And so allow some grace for them and grace for yourself as well. All right. And another thing is like when it comes to kids, patience is key. And one of my trainers in my team, like an amazing orator and an amazing storyteller, his name is Ajay. And he actually, in one of his sessions, shares the secret sauce for him, which is patience and prayers. So I would share that with you. Patience and pray that they will grow up well. All right. So that's for the kids. When it comes to juggling between things, right? Trust me, even if you're, uh, stopping certain actions that you assume that, hey, without you, it can never happen, right? Just stop for few days and see what's happening. There's always a solution. Alternate would definitely show up. It's just that we are not allowing room for those alternates or solutions to come up. We assume that, oh, it cannot be done without me. Nobody is there to do it but me, right? So it's just us who is actually making it a big deal. All right. So just relax, allow it. Like if there are like 100 things that you have taken up, just allow grace for yourself and just stop doing a certain things that is maybe not too much of a priority in your list of things to be done for the day, and see what solution comes of it. All right, so just give that a try, don't assume. Okay, so that's another thing that I can tell from my experience. um, Now, like for an example, I was assuming that my I have to take my dog for a walk because nobody else would. Now I have stopped, and now my daughter is doing it. And so, obviously, the reason why she's doing it because that my dog actually is most of the time spending in his time in her room, and if she wouldn't take it, he's going to go susu in her room, and her room is going to stink. And so she's made a practice now to go down and take him for a walk. So I've just allowed that to happen so that my daughter will step up and take actions. So allow for solutions to come up and don't assume that we are the saviors of the family, right? Just don't take it all on yourself.
Thank you, Ji.
No worries.
We have one question in YouTube. Like someone has commented. Um, so she wants to understand one thing. What strategies do you use to overcome any imposter syndrome?
Wow, the same inward because imposter syndrome is almost similar to self sabotage. You always have the self doubt and am I good enough sort of a thing. And of course, even when I joined Microsoft, I had moments of imposter syndrome as well. Constant re engineering and applying these inward techniques to, give that reassurance for yourself is an ongoing effort, folks. And some of you were kind enough to say that I am in a space of success. To me, I feel that I am still in the journey because for me, when I see people who are, who has clear goals and they have achieved their goals, but of course, success is very relative in nature. What you define success for yourself is different from what the other person defines success for themselves. So to me, even I feel like, I have opportunities to grow. So, having that open mindset to learn and applying that as part of your inward journey definitely helps, I would say. It's okay to have those imposter syndrome, okay to have the moments for sure, but then don't leave it at that. Come back, apply inward, re engineer so that when a situation like that comes up next time, you're even more powerful in challenging yourself and showing a better version of yourself. Yeah, I hope to have answered your question.
Yes, perfect.
Awesome.
So I couldn't see any question in the chat as well as if
It's either
oh,
I've addressed all their question,
yes.
or it could be also that, like, there is room for opportunity, right? So if this is the second option, Please feel free to give me the feedback so that maybe next time I could come up with a different topic that can reflect well with you all, and there could be even better takeaways. Speaking of which, the feedback form has been posted there. Gomathi has posted the form
Yeah.
there as well.
Yeah. So I hope there are no questions. And maybe if you may have that, what you said, the imposter syndrome or sabotage, so they may connect with you through LinkedIn and ask
Sure.
if they have any questions. Yeah,
I'm always happy to share whatever I've learned and happy to
great.
learn from you all as well.
That's really great. And really, Preeti, like your insights on confidence, presence, self-sabotage, because this is, I'm hearing here, and this is really made me inspired with the awareness of authenticity as well. And
Sure.
big thank you to our wonderful audience as well. Like
Yes.
they are growing, and I
Yeah.
could see Manimeghali, she's coming, she's attending almost all the sessions, and she wants to get
Very
back to the
active.
career. Yeah, very active as well. And
Hmm.
really, all the attendees' energy and questions and the participation made the session really truly special today. And we are halfway through this journey, and this session really made a great impact as well. So we have 3 more sessions to go. Like after 2 weeks, we have one session, and on December we have 2 sessions to go. And the excitement's also growing stronger. Thank you so much for joining in today, and thank you so much, Preeti.
Yeah.
I really loved this. Yeah.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for your patient listening. And I wish She Powers BI a very all the very best. And to all the listeners and our lovely ladies in the room, wishing you all the very best in your journey as well, folks. Remember that it's in your hands. Re-engineer yourself. Stop self-sabotaging. Stop self-doubting, and you go out there and show your full power. Okay.
Sure.
With that, have a great day ahead and good night for those who are kicking your beds.
Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Everyone, bye.